Let us see the pin diagram of 8086. See here, pin number 1 ground, pin number 40 VCC is operating in plus 5 volt. Then pin number 20 ground, pin number 19 clock input. Then pin number 33. You can see here maximum mode and minimum mode. So this 8086 can be operated in two modes, minimum mode or maximum mode. When this pin number 33 is logic high, it will be operating in minimum mode, and if it is 0, it will be operating in maximum mode. What is the difference between minimum mode and maximum mode? In minimum mode, 8086 will control everything. There is no co-process to support the operations of 8086. But in maximum mode, you can use co-process in the circuit. And see this pin number 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24. These pins has different functions in minimum mode and maximum mode. For example, pin number 27, it operates as a status signal in maximum mode S1 bar, and it operates as DT or R bar in minimum mode. Then you can see pin number 16, it is AD0, AD0, AD1, AD2, AD3, AD14, AD15. These are the multiplexed lines. Address and data are multiplexed. These lines are A0 to A15 and D0 to D15. That is, address lines A0 to A15 and data lines D0 to D15. So when will this carry address line, address data? When will it carry data? I will discuss it at the time of learning timing diagram of 8086. Then you can see pin number 38, S16 or S3. So these lines also multiplexed. S16 is the address line, S3 is a status signal. So 38, 37, 36 and 35. These lines multiplexed address and status signals. At a particular time, address will appear on this line. At a particular time, status will be appearing on this line. So there are 20 address lines and 16 data lines. Data lines are D0 to D15. Address lines are A0 to A19. Pin number 34, BHE bar or S7. This pin is multiplexed. S7 is the status signal. BHE bar is bus high enabled. It is used to indicate a data transfer over the higher order data bus, that is D8 to D15. To understand the function of BHE bar, we should know the arrangement of physical memory in 8086. You know 8086 has 20 address lines, the maximum 1 MB memory. This 1 MB memory is arranged as two banks, even bank and odd bank, or upper bank and lower bank. The size of each bank is 2 raised to 19 bytes. See this 20 address lines A0 to A19. A0 is used for bank selection. When A0 is 0, this bank will be activated. So remaining 19 bits are used to address the memory locations in each bank. Even bank means, see the 20 bit addresses, the even addresses coming in this bank and odd addresses coming in this bank. When BHE bar equal to 0, then only this odd bank will be activated. When the microprocessor want to read or write something to an even address, memory location or device, it should make A0 equal to 0 and BHE bar is equal to 1. The data from even address memory locations or IO devices flow through the lines D0 to D7. If the microprocessor want to read something from an odd address memory location or IO device, it should make BHE bar is equal to 0 and A0 equal to 1. The data from odd address locations or IO devices flow through D8 to D15.
So when the microprocessor want to read a byte from the odd address memory location or an odd address IO device, it will put the 20-bit address on the address lines and generate BHE bar equal to 0. When BHE bar equal to 0, this odd bank will be activated, and using the address bits A1 to A19, see A1 to A19 is connected to odd bank and even bank. Using A1 to A19, it will select one of these locations, or it will select an odd address IO device, a memory mapped IO device, and the data from the memory location or IO device will be appearing on D8 to D15. If the microprocessor want to read an even address byte, it will put the even address on the address lines. See, for every even address, A0 bit is 0. When A0 is 0, this bank will be enabled. So the microprocessor will put the even address at the memory and the address lines and will make BHE bar equal to 1. When BHE bar equal to 1, this bank will be disabled. Since A0 and since the A0 bit of an even address is 0, this bank will be enabled. So using A1 to A19, it will select 1 byte memory location or an IO device, and the data from the memory location or the IO device will flow through D0 to D7. Next, if the microprocessor want to read a word, the word length is 2 bytes. Suppose the word is starting with an even address, 20-bit even address 00000. The first byte will be here and the second byte of the word will be here, 00001, the 20-bit address 00001. See, the 19-bit address generated from or formed from these two 20-bit addresses, that is formed from 00000 and 00001 is 00000. See here, this is the 20-bit address, the last nibble is expanded, A0 goes for bank selection, the remaining A1 to A19, it is same for the 20-bit address 00000 and 00001. So when the microprocessor put the even address 00000, the 20-bit address, and made BHE bar equal to 0, then this bank will be enabled and the A1 to A19 bits will select this location. Since A0 is 0, this bank will be enabled and A1 to A19 will select this location. So data from this location and this location, that is the entire word, is available over D0 to D15. So it is easy to read if the words start at an even address. The microprocessor can read it in a single bus cycle. But when the words start at an odd location, suppose the word is starting at 00001 and end at 00002, then it will take 2 bus cycles because the address 20-bit address 00001 and 00002, the 19-bit portion, that is A1 to A19, the 19-bit portion of these two addresses are not the same. So first it has to put the odd address over the address line and make BHE bar equal to 0. Then the data from the odd address location will be appearing on D8 to D15. After that it has to put the even address over the address line and make BHE bar equal to 1. Then the next byte of the word will be selected and the data from that byte will be available over the line D0 to D7. And suppose A0 equal to 1 and BHE bar equal to 1, then nothing will be selected.
See, to read or write a byte at an even address, microprocessor will make BHE bar equal to 1 and A0 equal to 0. For every even address, A0 is 0. The data will appear on D0 to D7. To read or write a byte at an odd address, you should make BHE bar equal to 0 and A0 bit will be 1. The data from the odd address byte will be appearing on D8 to D15. When read or write a word starting at an even address, it has to put the even address at the address lines. That will make A0 equal to 0. Then the processor has to make BHE bar equal to 0. And then data will be appearing on D0 to D15, and the reading or writing can be completed by a single bus cycle. To read or write a word starting at an odd address, first it has to put the odd address at the address lines. It will make A0 equal to 1 and microprocessor will make a BHE bar equal to 0. Then odd bank will be activated and the data at the odd address location will be appearing on D8 to D15. Then it has to put the even address at the address lines. It will make A0 equal to 0 and processor will make BHE bar equal to 1. Then even bank will be enabled and data at the even address location will be appearing on D0 to D7. It needs 2 bus cycles. In number 32, RD bar, this is active low output signal. A 0 on this line indicates that CPU is reading memory or an IO device. In number 23, test bar, this is an input signal that is tested by the wait instruction, commonly connected to 8087 coprocessor. As test switches to 0, that is when an active low appears on the pin, execution resumes with the next instruction in the program. So when a logic high is appearing on test bar pin, 8086 will remain in the wait state. The wait instruction causes the CPU to enter a low power sleep mode until awakened by an interrupt. The 8086 will come out of this sleep mode once it reaches an interrupt. Once it receives an interrupt or a logic 0 and touch bar pin. Let us see the connection between 8087 and 8086. Here the busy pin of 8087 is connected with touch bar pin of 8086. Once this 8086 identifies the instruction is of 8087, 8086 will execute a wait instruction. This wait instruction continuously tests the pin test bar. 8087 has to read a lot of data and compute the result, and 8086 can proceed the execution of the program only after getting a result from 8087. So it will check the touch bar pin. When 8087 is calculating the result, it will make the busy pin logic high. When the wait instruction tests this pin touch bar, it knows it is logic high. This 8086 will remain in the wait state. Once the result is computed by 8087, it will make the busy pin 0 and a logic low reached on touch bar pin. This touch bar pin is active low. So once a logic low reaches on touch bar pin, 8086 can continue the execution of the remaining instructions. Pin number 22, ready. This is an input signal from the IO devices. A high on this pin indicates that the device is ready to transfer data. Pin number 21, reset. Microprocessor resets if this pin is held high for 4 clock periods. Instruction execution begins at FFFF0H and interrupt flag is cleared. Pin number 17, NMI. Pin number 18, INTR. These are hardware interrupts of 8086. NMI is non-maskable interrupt. It is used to handle emergency situations like memory failure, etc. Any device can request for interrupt service through INTR line. This can be masked by resetting interrupt flag. On receiving an interrupt request, 8086 will acknowledge that. Pin number 31 and 30, hold and HLD. These two pins are related to DMA. Hold is the DMA request. Any device can request for DMA through this pin. And these pins are coming under minimum mode. These are the functions of pin number 24 to 31 in minimum mode. HLD is DMA this acknowledgement. It's an output signal sent by 8086. WR bar pin number 29. A low on this line indicates that the CPU is performing a memory write or IO write. Pin number 28, M or IO bar. When a logic high on this line indicates the operation is related to memory. A logic 0 on this line indicates the operation is related to IO device. Pin number 27, DT or R bar. A logic high on this line indicates CPU is transmitting data. A logic 0 on this line indicates that CPU is receiving data. Pin number 26, DEN bar, that is data enabled, indicate the availability of valid data over multiple address data lines. This signal is used to enable the transceivers. ALE, pin number 25, address latch enabled. The output signal indicates the availability of valid address on the multiplexed address or data lines. Pin number 24, INTA bar, this is interrupt acknowledged signal. Next we will discuss about the status signals on pin number 34 to 38. That is the status signal S3, S4, S5, S6 and S7. This S4 and S3 will be interpreted like this. If S4 equal to 0 and S3 equal to 0, the extra segment will be used. If S4 equal to 0, S3 equal to 0, the stack segment will be used. S4 equal to 1, S3 equal to 0, the port segment will be used, or no segments. When S4 equal to 1, S3 equal to 1, data segment will be used. S6 is always low. S5 indicates the status of interrupt flag bit, and S7 is unused.